Alrighty, folks. If you could tell by the headline, it's going to be the Iron Maiden tag 2026. The Christian Osorio put out a bunch of tags going around. I'm trying to get to as many as I can, but laziness, my own backlog, putting a damper on things. But this one looked like a fun one. It seemed to be getting a pretty good response. So I'll try and get through it as least clumsy as possible. I'm gonna have to bounce back and forth because it's kind of in depth. Let There Be Maiden. Who, how, or what made you discover the band? Now, I discovered Iron Maiden in the record shops. I saw the albums for Iron Maiden and Killers and even Made in Japan. Had no idea who they were. At that time, I was only listening to Kiss, and that was it. I didn't even really know about any band. So I saw their album covers, had no idea what they played. Thought their album covers were quite frightening for a preteen. And then I can't remember if I heard the song Run to the Hills first or saw the video on MTV for Run to the Hills first. But that was where it all started. Number of the Beast. I still remember going to the mall with my mom. She had something to do. And of course, any excuse to go to the mall back then was, get to go to the record store. And I still remember I was in the record store when she finished up. She came back and she's like, "Come on, let's go." And I'm like, "I can't decide between this album or Highway to Hell by AC/DC. Which one should I pick?" And she's like, "Well, I don't like either one of them." So I ended up getting this one. And the rest was Iron Maiden history, as they say. Then the next one is Who Needs Words, favorite instrumental. Gotta be Transylvania. Classic. Everything you can want in an instrumental. Not that Iron Maiden really doesn't have that many instrumentals. They pretty much abandoned instrumentals after Power Slave. Have they even done one since Power Slave? The Angel and the Gambler. Hard to believe they sometimes have bad songs. Name one song you really don't like at all. That would be Tears of a Clown. Never cared for it. I know some people like it. Just always came off. It's kind of a wimpy tune for Iron Maiden, so I never cared for that one. Let's see. Killers. Now name your favorite deep track. Well, there's tons of those too. But the first one that came to mind was Sun and Steel. There's a couple of good shows off of here. Still Life. But that was the first one that popped into my head, so that's the one I went with. Book of Souls, show a book, magazine, zines, flyer, etc. Anything on paper. Well, that was an easy one too, because I just got this bad boy. This thing is massive, and I have read the entire thing. It has every bit of history. Iron Maiden, photos. It's got shots of their concert t-shirts right here. That's a good page to flip to. I had that one right there. That top one in the front. Mine was a jersey though. It said "Remember the Alamo," and then "Brain Damage in Texas." I did not go to that show, but my parents shockingly found that in one of my magazines and bought it for me and gave it to me for either birthday or Christmas. And I used to wear it all the time. Don't know what happened to it, but yeah, you can see this thing is just thick, chock full of information. If you're an Iron Maiden diehard, you need that book in your collection. Scream for me. How many times have you seen the band live? 9 times. 7 times in Dallas. Once in Fort Worth and once in Las Vegas. My first time was in Dallas, 1985, World Slavery Tour. Wasp opened, and then the last time, Fort Worth. So yeah, and if they came back around, I'd go see them again, definitely. Stranger in a Strange Land. If you have the chance, if you have a chance to see them live, when, any year, where, country venue, what would it be? That was a tough one to pick out, but I had to go with 1982 Reading Festival. Iron Maiden headlined. You had Tigers of Pantang, Blackfoot, Gary Moore, Bernie Torme, Rock Goddess, and Bow Wow, all on the Iron Maiden day. And if I was able to pick the whole weekend, that would definitely be it, because I think Budgie headlined one like Friday, and then Maiden was Saturday, and then Michael Schenker Group was Sunday. And let's see here. Isle of Avalon, 5 records you will take to a desert island. Well, let me see here. Start with Iron Maiden. Top 3 Maiden album for me. Gotta have Killers too. So many great tracks on there. Then we'd go with Number of the Beast, of course. Our first Maiden album. And then we'd have to do Peace of Mind, of course. This was my favorite Maiden album for a long time, but somebody did a top 10 ranking of albums from the 80s, and you could only pick one album per band. And when it came to Maiden, I was like, I can't put Peace of Mind over Number of the Beast, so I decided that, I guess that meant Number of the Beast was my favorite. Let's see, there's 4, and then just to change it up, just saying the first 5 is just too easy. We'll go Brave New World, the Brave New Beginning of their Prague era, as it's known. And let's see. What would be the record to introduce your son, daughter, nephew, niece, or any other young listener to discover the band? You know, I should have kept Brave New World out, because this would be the one. I mean, it does kind of signal their newer sound, which is probably something more easily digestible for our fragile youth of today. Wouldn't want to start them off with anything like Maiden or Killers or Number of the Beast. Too murdery, too devilly. This is still has the ties that bind to the old school and moves on to the new school. So this would probably be that. And it has Blood Brothers on it. The Legacy show release, you have more than one physical format. So that would be Live After Death. I said my first concert ever was Iron Maiden on the World Slavery Tour. Perhaps the greatest stage show of all time. And then I have this here, which I guarantee you, VHS. I have watched more than I have listened to the Live After Death album, because being that it was my first concert, being that it was such an amazing stage show, listening to the album, I know some people think it's the greatest live album of all time. It sometimes left me a little hollow, because it just doesn't have all the visual spectacle. And when you're listening to the album, all I can think about is the stage show and being there and all that. So I guarantee you I've watched this more times than I've listened to the album Live After Death. We still got more here. Now this is 1998, I think. Castle reissue, 2-disc set of Live After Death, but with this one, it has the original release where they trimmed off like 5 minutes off Running Free. But then you get the three songs on a bonus disc: "Lost for Words," "Big Aura," "Sanctuary," and "Murder in the Rue Morgue." But since that still had the truncated version of Running Free, that meant I had to get this one, which I forget when this one came out. But it has it's a 2-disc set also, but it has the full 8.5-minute version of Running Free with 5 minutes of it being basically Bruce Dickinson trying to get the crowd to sing along, but gotta have it. Can't have an edited version as your only version. Man on the Edge. Why would you give the Blaze Bayley era another try? Well, first off, this is a really good album. I bought this album the day it came out. I was at work. I left work to go to the record store and buy it. I came back to work. I played it. I hated it. I don't think I listened to it for probably 10 years. And then I decided to give it another spin, and it really grown on me. There's lots of great tracks on here. You know, it's probably hearing the tracks from Rock in Rio that did it. Sign of the Cross, the Klansman. Not that that's on this album, but it prompted me to give this another shot. And you got Sign of the Cross, Lord of the Flies, Man on the Edge. I mean, this is a really good album. Dark. Does it sound like Bruce Dickinson or Paul Di'Anno? No. And this one here, you got... Now, I still rank this as my least favorite Iron Maiden album, but there's still great tunes on here. Future Real, The Klansman, Don't Look to the Eyes of a Stranger. I would even say The Angel and the Gambler is not that bad of a tune. If they would just whittle down the number of times they say The Angel and the Gambler, or just cut the chorus in half. Cut the number of times the chorus is repeated in half, and the song would probably be halfway decent. But yeah, there's still good tracks on here. I mean, Klansman's a classic. Future Real is a good one too. Sheriff of Huddersfield band have a lot of cool B-sides. Name one of your favorites. What did I just do with that thing? There it is. It's on this one. There's another Castle reissue. The top track on the second disc, Black Bart Blues. Yeah, they used to play that one on this radio station called Z-Rock all the time. And I think those Castle reissues came out in '98, so, and that Z-Rock, they probably went under in like '88, so took me 10 years to get a copy of that one. Let's see, where are we at now? Running Free, a song you have to play loud while driving. Well, that's definitely going to be Wrathchild. The intro, of course, we'll cheat and play the Ides of March. But then you got to crank Wrathchild whenever that thing comes on. 22 Acacia Avenue, you move into a new home, you play one record up to 10 to announce to your neighbors, here's Johnny. Well, there could be plenty of those as well, but I have to go back to this one and play to Tame a Land. One, because it's 7.5 minutes long, and you want to punish them as much as possible. And this, being old Maiden, it's pretty much 7.5 minutes of balls to the wall, no build up. I mean, Hallowed Be Thy Name is great, but you got to get to the build up there. To Tame a Land's pretty much right in your face, right from the get go. Who's your favorite band member? Man, I wish I would have marked this in here because I didn't even think about it. Let's see if I can flick to it real quick. Well, here's a pickup anyway. Dave Murray. Yes, the easy answer is Steve Harris, and Steve Harris is my favorite bass player of all time. But as far as like favorite band member, gotta be Dave Murray. Been there almost the entire time, 99.9% of the time he's been there. Through the thick and thin, always there, backing up Steve. Great guitar player, great tone, happy-go-lucky, always got a smile on his face, always looks like he's having a great time. The loneliness of the long-distance runner. You're going for a walk, a long one. Name the first and last track on your playlist. Well, you're going for a long walk. First song you gotta play is Prowler. You're going on the prowl. And then your last one, if it's truly been a long walk, then your last track is definitely going to be Hell on Earth, because that's what it's going to feel like after your long walk. Weekend Warrior. Steve and the boys love football and West Ham. What is your favorite team? Well, my favorite team is Texas A&M Aggies. That is a college. We do college sports a lot different than everybody else in the world. College football is the sport, number one. But the great thing about having a college team is they do pretty much every sport. So now we're in basketball season. I get to root for the Aggies in basketball season. And we're actually number one in the SEC right now. That's the conference. It's too much to try and explain. Holy Smoke. Name something you would like the band to release, or what record you want to add to the collection. Well, that's easy. An original copy of the Soundhouse tapes. And if that's never going to happen because those things go for like $500 a piece, maybe the band could re-release the Soundhouse tapes. That would be awesome. Iron Maiden. So why do you still listen to the band after so many years? They're Maiden. I mean, they're, whether you want to go 1 through 5, 1 through 7, 1 through whatever. I mean, their album is littered with classics. They've always maintained their integrity. They've always done what they've wanted to do, whether people like it or not. They've always just done what they want to do, never gone with the flow. They were wearing spandex before the glam guys were wearing spandex, so they never tried to go glammy, unlike bands like Ozzy, Priest, Scorpions in the 80s. Maiden was still doing Maiden. In the 90s, they didn't try any grunge or any new metal like some of those thrash bands did. They've just always done what they wanted to do. They've always been Maiden. My favorite metal band that's still going. So Up the Irons. You guys have a good one.